Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. I am Joe Abeta, and today from Capitol High School, we have the computer tech and science lead, Barbara Tesserich, and her student, Raul Alvarado, a junior at Capitol High. Welcome to Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you for having us here.
Yes.
Pretty well. It was a good school day today.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's good to hear, Raul. Thank you so much. I want to say, Ms. Tesserich, I have visited your class several times just to do, we come in and we stop in to do spotlights on your students on the program that you guys have had. Also, there's been past times when we've used you in the state of the schools where we want to highlight what's going on at Capitol High as far as the computer science program. You run your program is amazing. Students love the program. They are very efficient when they leave. Let's talk a little bit about, before we get to our old story, because it's very, very cool. But I just want to give some folks the background of the program. How did it come to be? Because you're the one that started it, right, at Capitol High, correct?
Yes, I was actually hired to teach computer applications and web design. But after several years, I heard about professional development for teachers for bringing computer science to school. So it was like 2014. And I signed up for this opportunity, and this is how I brought computer science. Back then, it was NetLogo, agent-oriented programming, and students who sign up for this course, they earned college credits from UNM. But the more professionals I met and invited to school, to my classes, first as guest speakers, then as members of the advisory committee for the pathway that I was forming, they all said the same. Teach them Python. This is a real language used by the real professionals, used widely in industry, in artificial intelligence. Just some of them were honest and said, "Don't waste your students' time. Teach them what is real, right?" And also, I heard about Linux that is very popular in industry. So I then added those classes, and altogether now I teach 4 different classes.
That's pretty amazing. And I know that your classes, you guys have won several competitions. You've also kind of persevered through the whole COVID thing too as well. You guys won some competitions during that time as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so when I started teaching computer science, so one of the languages it was also JavaScript, so students learn from my tutorials. And I was in one of the project was quiz, and one student changed this assignment into survey about public education, and then he submitted it to the Congressional App Challenge, and he won 3rd place. And it was actually before pandemic. It was 2018. But the same student then became the leader of his team that worked with the scientists from Los Alamos National Lab. They work on the AI model for detecting weapons in the video stream. And they became finalists in Supercomputer Challenge. This student now graduated from college with computer science degree and was applying for different jobs. And what is great to me as his teacher is that he reached out to me and also asked me to be one of his reference contact. And this is what I like, that students don't forget about me. They remember that how much I invested in them, stayed after them after school, and they know that I can write a lot about them and help them. And what I heard, he was even accepted at Los Alamos. So the point is that when students engage in those STEM competitions and do more effort and also stay after school and do more than just what is in class, then it builds their resume and helps them later on even get great jobs in IT.
What do you feel like? So if I'm a student, I'm a middle schooler, let's say they're watching this right now, or parents or the students watching this podcast right now, and they're saying, man, I'd really like to get into that program, but I really don't have a lot of, I don't have experience with coding or with computer science. Can a student, as long as they have the passion to come in here and want to learn, Can they be successful coming in, not having any background in computer science?
Yes, definitely, because this is how I formed and built this pathway. We start with the Computer Technology Assistant 1 class, where students are introduced to computer hardware. They have an opportunity to build the computer from scratch. Then they have a chance to build, construct or design some circuits. First, they do that virtually using Tinkercad. Then they do that using Arduino. So they have some opportunity to learn how actually electricity works, right, and electronics, and are introduced to C++ coding. But all of this is in a funny way, gently, zero stress. They have a lot of fun. We also have a lot of mentors coming and helping. Even our own students, when they took all my classes and are seniors, they have opportunity to be interns for like STEM Santa Fe, for example, and they come and help younger students.
Wow.
So they have a lot of support, and all of this is no stressful, specifically designed for students who are beginners and have no experience. And after this class, then I recommend that students take my programming course when I introduce them to Python, and also totally from the beginning, step by step, a lesson after lesson. The entire school year is Python, and they learn this language, the syntax of the language, and the variety of different data types and stuff like that. And this is a prerequisite for the advanced placement computer science principles when they finally have to write their own program, their own software, which is required by the College Board if they want to pass AP exam. So I build this pathway in the way that is sequenced and prepares students for more advanced classes and more challenging tasks. There is also one more class, additional class that I teach. This is Computer Information Sciences, and 2 semesters are dual credit. So students can earn college credits while being high school students. And the first semester is web design. The second semester is introduction to Linux.
And you also, I know that, and Raul, we'll get to you. We're going to be there. But I just want to also, since we're on that, there's a lot of certifications that your students get too. They leave with certifications from your class if they wish to take the certification for certain things, right, in computer science, correct?
Yes, Raul is actually one of those who earned certification, a Python entry-level programmer. This certification is offered by Python Institute. And any student who would like to do more, but this requires also stay with me after school and just put some effort, prepare better, because this test is timed. Then whoever wants to do that, I am there for them. And like every year, we have few students who earn this certification.
That's pretty awesome. Raul, how's it going, man?
Pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
I just got out of school, so I still have a lot of studying to do.
I got you. No, we'll get you going here. So let's talk about this, man. What was your journey? What were you? Did you have interest in computer science before you took Ms. Tesserich's class? Talk about that.
So when I was in middle school, I had this teacher, Jonathan Falcon. He is now the technology assistant over at Camino Real, which is really nice. He introduced me to a lot of basic concepts, such as block coding and just making my own projects from scratch using MIT App Inventor. Okay. At the beginning, I did have a lot of passion for computing, but I really just didn't know where to take it. It wasn't until I actually went into Capitol High School, or more rather into one of the STEM competitions, I got to meet Ms. Tederich. It was in the supercomputing challenge in the kickoff that I got to meet Ms. Tederich, where her and we exchanged a conversation and said basically, hey, you know what? You seem like a pretty bright student. I would really love for you to take my AP Computer Science course on your sophomore year, and even my dual credit course if you could. So then for the second semester, I took her Intro to Linux class, and then everything since then, it's just kind of blossomed into something huge. Since in my sophomore year, I took AP Computer Science Principles, and with the help of Ms. Tederich and a lot of her resources, I also took the more advanced AP Computer Science A exam, which without her, I probably would have not passed, to be honest with you.
That's awesome. So now you're in your junior year. Have you felt like this is something that is a pathway that you would like to continue on?
It is a pathway that I would like to continue on, especially for my future career path. I've been considering computer science, I think, ever since Ms. T and a lot of other teachers introduced me to this career path. But I've also been looking into career paths that also diverge from computer science. A great example would be with one of my mentors who's introduced me to electrical engineering, which is about making circuits and designing, I guess, just new projects that really could change the world. I mean, for one of the projects that I worked on, Scooby, it was a robotic gunshot detection system.
Yeah.
Which, we wanted to solve the problem of school shootings. And as a result, we ended up making a project and forming lifelong friendships from it.
That's pretty awesome. And you guys got recognition. I know that news stations were and the media were writing stories about that. And have you guys moved on to another phase with that, or is that something on that project, or did you guys reach it and now you're moving on to other stuff?
We're still working on it in the background. Some of us, obviously, we want to keep working on it, especially for more advanced recognition. Say, for example, implementing a previous student's weapon detection AI, but also just improving on it, such as adding, for example, infrared sensors and other stuff like that. It doesn't mean that, obviously, we haven't worked on other projects, especially me.
Yeah.
For example, the project I'm working on right now, which is both my AP research project, shout out Miss Moon, and also my supercomputing project is a electroencephalography device, which I find pretty nice.
Yeah. No, that's pretty awesome. So let's talk about this. 8th grader comes up to you and says, Raul, I'm really thinking about taking the computer science class. And Ms. Tederich, I saw you guys, your interview, or I've heard about it. And what can you tell me? I mean, I really don't know a lot about computer science, but what would you tell that 8th grader, that middle schooler that'd be considering going into the computer science pathway at Capital?
I think definitely challenge yourself, Ms. Tederich also made the classes in a way where even like really, really new people to computer science can understand it from the get-go. And she explains concepts beautifully. Like, for example, let's say I didn't understand a concept in Linux. She would take the time out of her day and explain it to me and explain it to other students alike. So really, I would say challenge yourself, take the course, For me, especially since I started with, I guess, not that much computer science knowledge, when I went into her class for the first time, I was a little scared because, I felt like, hey, I'm a freshman. I'm not supposed to be in like this class. But Ms. T really took the time out of her day and the time out of her life to really make it as easy and as clear to follow, and really just gave us a guide towards success, which for me and for many other students alike, we've really appreciated.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Mr. Rich, let me ask you this, because I know you have definitely given options for your students. I know you have robotics in there too as well, right? You had some programming with robotics you had shown me with the dancing robots. I don't know if that was something, but I'm just saying there is like a wide variety of things in the classroom that kids can find interest in, correct?
Yes, this is my robotic assistant. This is how I call.
Yeah.
And we usually take it for a variety of events, like promoting the pathway, Innovation Expo, Open House, stuff like that. But no, so in this class that I mentioned, Computer Technology Assistant 1, so this is when students are introduced to Internet of Things, Arduino. So this is actually the base for robotics, right?
Yeah.
Because robots run on those microprocessors. So this is where students learn all of this. And we also are supported by STEM Santa Fe that comes to the class with a variety of professionals from industry. We also have electrical engineer from Los Alamos National Lab and mentor students, help them build some robotic system. This year, this is Solar Tracker. And I also wanted to mention that during the pandemic, it was 2020, I was actually meeting with students remotely on Sundays with my team.
Okay.
And we developed a JavaScript app that calculates the size and the price of the photovoltaic solar panel, solar system. And it was chosen for the first place by back then it was still Congressman Ben Lujan. Now he's senator.
He's a senator
But he chose it for the first place during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And because it was pandemic, we couldn't go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
But when we won again, thanks to Raul's mentor, Mr. David, he's a retired electrical engineer. He has like 40 years of experience in Silicon Valley. So he mentored the Scooby team, and the Scooby became, again, the first place winner in Congressional App Challenge in 2023. And that time, we made it to Washington, D.C.
That's awesome.
So we went there.
So let me ask you, so your students are actually learning how to code in that class, and they're able to to be able to learn the basics of coding and then work from there, right? What they put into it is what they're going to get out of it, as far as like how much they want to learn to be a coder or to learn coding.
Yes, you see, my main goal, main purpose is to equip students with this base knowledge that will prepare them to college.
Okay.
So when they go to college, they will not be lost. They will not be behind other like more privileged students, maybe from private schools or whatever that are advanced. But I want to be sure that my students will be on the same page, and I'm still in contact with some of the students who graduated, and they told me that taking, like for example, my Python course was such a good idea because then in college they didn't struggle, they understood everything, they were even ahead. I even received a letter from one college from Utah that my student now is studying at, and they were thanking me for preparing the student
That's
for
awesome.
their college. That he is really doing great.
That's great. I mean, anytime you can have a legacy of students that are out there from your own, they come from your class, and that they are serving the community and also being successful. I mean, it speaks volumes for the program. So that's pretty awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Raul, let me ask you: what's the? I mean, I know you're only a junior, and I don't want to put pressure, but is this something that you're looking at continuing after? I mean, when you graduate, do you have any thoughts on plans afterwards of what you're going to be doing after you graduate?
After I graduate, I feel like, well, first of all, obviously college. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
For me, that's one of my biggest goals, especially coming from an immigrant family. Since, a lot of us don't have the privilege. A lot of us don't really grow up around a community where we say, hey, our parents went to college. Let's go to college. Let's follow an example,
Yeah.
For many of us, it's scary because, like, for example, for me, my parents never went to college. My brother and my sister didn't have the privilege of going to college, nor did they have the privilege of finishing high school, since they had to help my parents. So
Yeah,
for me, it
yeah.
feels like a privilege to be able to go to college. And if I'm able to study something that I'm interested in, for example, computer science or computer technology, for me, I think I find that as really special, not only because, well, first of all, I'm a first-gen college student, and the circumstances were really special in my case, and in the case of many of my colleagues and I guess just my classmates, but also because of the support that the teachers give you, especially if you're, I guess, brand new into this world of college,
Yeah.
An example of this would be Ms. T, She's given me a lot of examples. She's shown me really a lot of career paths, especially in I guess just the stuff that we learned throughout class.
Yeah.
That for me, I decided, hey, you know what? Maybe I should pursue this after college, or you know what? Let's even pursue this before I finish high school. If it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't have found out about internships that really nowadays I'm applying to.
Yeah.
A really big example of this would be the Los Alamos internship, in which, she's helped me, she's gave me resources, she's just guided me through it, and also let me use her as a reference, even although,
Yeah.
I'm still a junior, so I don't really have that much experience.
I got you. Are you taking any of the dual credit classes?
I've taken the Intro to Linux, and
Okay.
over my summer, I've also taken the Intro to Web Design, thanks to Miss T, since she really got me interested in, I guess, just a bunch of technology. She got me hooked on, like it's like at first sight,
Yeah.
it looks scary, and I'm also talking to students that are coming into Capital or any other high school. It looks scary at first, you see all these like computers and all these like big blobs of text and stuff like that. I get it,
Yeah.
But once you're able to overcome that wall, I wouldn't call it skill barrier, but rather wall. Once you're able to overcome that, it really becomes super interesting. It becomes super just fun to play around and just really experiment around.
Wow. Let me ask you something. When was the moment in the class? Do you remember this moment where you're looking at that big wall of code and you're able to look at it now like it's a second or third language to you and you understand what's there? What was that moment like for you?
I think it was during the AP Computer Science Principles. I guess it was a second semester, or around the first or second semester, give or take second or third quarter. I was working on my performance task for, I guess, the first time. And then after a while, I look on it, like let's say I'm just like at home. I looked on it. I looked at my performance task, and I just saw like the 100 lines of code I wrote, and I was like, wow, You know, I made this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it comes as a culture shock to me because 2 years ago, from that point, I was barely dragging around blocks and coding with blocks. You know, and now I can write like full on code and other stuff like that. And for me, it was just mind blowing, that realization that hey, I can read this, I understand this, and it was all thanks to Miss T.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you got college credit too. So
That's it.
you're officially a college student really right now because you have gotten college credit. Let's talk about that, Ms. Tesserich. So college credit, a lot of kids, do they take advantage of this program, this dual credit?
Yes, yeah, I have students in my dual credit class every year in those 2 semesters. So this is great opportunity for them. There's so many benefits, not only that they earn those college credits, but they also, and they can apply them towards required college electives, right? So it actually, some students who already graduated and still stay in touch with me, they say that, Ms. T, your dual credit courses saved me time and money in college. Because then they can actually graduate faster also from college.
Yeah.
Also, each semester of dual credit course equals 1 full high school credit. So this means that if they take my computer information sciences class and both semesters in this class are dual credit, then it is equal to 2 full high school credits. So like they were with me 2 years.
Wow.
This makes their schedule shorter when they are seniors.
Yeah,
They also can graduate
that's
faster
great.
from high school.
That's great.
Not only from college, right? So there is a lot of benefits from taking those courses, and especially those courses that are anything that I teach there is really used in industry.
That's pretty awesome. So Raul, that's amazing that you started, that you have taken advantage of those college courses. Miss T, I mean, like, what is it like, having a student like this and your other students, but Raul, pretty brilliant, right? I mean, I know that you have a lot of brilliant students, but you brought Raul today. How is he as a student?
Yes, exactly. So Raul said, and it was very nice of you, Raul, I appreciated that you learned so much from me, but how much I learned from you? Let's be honest. How many times when there is any problems with robot, any troubleshooting, I ask Raul and he will fix it very quickly. Now I can learn Linux from Raul because he learned so much also by himself.
Yeah.
So he's the type of student that will not only limit himself to what he learned in class, he will do a lot totally by himself. And our mentor, this experienced, very, very experienced professional from industry, to the point he even worked on Apple Watch. So we talk about this kind of level,
Oh,
right?
wow.
This is like world level, world class professional. He said, when he observed Raul, he said that whatever professionals in industry do, like try to figure out for weeks, Raul will do in 30 minutes.
Wow. That's pretty good, man. Awesome.
And I also wanted to take opportunity, if I can, to shout out to our mentor, Mr. David Ritter, for his wonderful support for mentoring our students for so many years. He even sponsors scholarships for our students.
That's awesome.
And today, actually, we had the first session during lunch break. Any students who who are interested in earning some money and like building cars, autonomous cars from the parts for the elementary school teachers that Mr. David also takes care of. We had this first session today, and they became interns. And this intern is through Partners in Education. And all of this is thanks to Mr. David Ritter, who wants to invest in students in public schools.
That's pretty awesome. I have one last question for you. Over the years since 2016, right? Since this you started this program, was it 2016 or 2014?
So actually, I started teaching in Capital High School in 2010.
Okay.
But I brought computer science to Capital High School. It was in the school year 2014, 2015.
Okay, so since then, would you have ever thought when you had started it back then that it would be what it is today? Like, is this what you're, the evolution of your class and the amount of students that you have produced? Talk about that when you started this. How do you feel that you've come a long way?
I still think that this is just American dream.
Okay.
I think that I am just still back in Poland. I used to be like a accounting teacher in Poland, and I just fell asleep, and this is just my dream. I cannot believe that this is real.
Yeah.
Still, because this is not what I initially studied. When I came to America, I just took all those Microsoft Office specialist certification exams, and this is how I actually found a job. Like usually mostly in schools, because I used to be a teacher in Poland. But then I was studying a lot throughout this time, a lot of computer science courses. I also had to pass a lot of industry certification exams myself.
Yeah.
Right? So it is never-ending studying and then bringing this knowledge back to students, and especially when we had those achievements. The first two winning accomplishments, so in 2018, the third place, and then in 2020, the first place in Congressional App Challenge, it was just me. I didn't have any mentor, nobody.
Yeah.
And then I started meeting those mentors from industry, and they were supporting me, helping, also coming and working with students after school, and there were many more. How many times we were finalists in Supercomputer Challenge? Actually, in Congressional App Challenge, we also had second place, third place. So actually, year after year. Governor STEM Challenge, year after year.
Yeah.
Any students who participated in this challenge received 500 check from the challenge when they became finalists. We even at some point were state finalists for the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. But I have to honestly say that this is mostly thanks to the mentors from industry.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. It's just an amazing. Every time I go into the classroom and I see the kids, they're engaged. They love what they're doing. You're very passionate, and I think that really is infectious to the kids, that they share that passion with you, and I think it's amazing. So congratulations. And everybody I talk to about you, they say, oh, she's just the best. And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Raul, any last words, sir?
Especially for those students that are interested in joining computer technology, say you're an 8th grade or even a freshman, go for it. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best things you can do. And spoiler alert, it's a little more fun than biomedical. But try it out, see how you like it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on all your accomplishments, man. And thank you for sharing your story, too. Very, very inspirational, man. I know somebody's out there listening, and it's really good that it'll hit somebody there and they'll say, hey, Raul Alvarado said that, and I'm all for that. So anything we say sometimes will reach the right person, and I think that's a good thing. So thank you for sharing that.
I'll also just say something in Spanish really quickly.
Yeah.
Aunque ustedes no crean que no se puede, sí se puede. Todos los logros que yo he cumplido sí se pueden cumplir igualmente, y yo creo que con las oportunidades correctas y con los mentores y profesores correctos sí se puede. Gracias.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Ms. Tedrich. I appreciate you coming on. And Raul Alvarado. Folks, thank you for joining us. Have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.